Okay, and time started. Lovely. I'm just setting up right now. Hang on. There we go. Just setting up right now. So we've got two songs here. We've got HardstyleyTechno Thing, and we've got HardstyleyTechno Thing Step. There's two variations, right? One is dubstep, and one is HardstyleyTechno sort of thing. I think I'm going to start with the HardstyleyTechno Thing, and then we'll do the dubstep one after. So let's open that up, and I'll let it play out, let you have a listen. The idea is to do some mix downs here. We'll see how it goes. And like I say, I'm just going to do some stuff in the background. I'm just trying to, yeah, okay, but yeah, mix down's not been done at all, I don't think. But I do like the sound of this kick. So without saturation and everything, this is what it sounds like. Very saturated, interestingly. But you know, yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. I'll zoom in, give you something fun to watch, I suppose. EQ8, and it drops there. So yeah, whatever. Let's close this. Fuck it. You don't need anything to watch. It's a very simple actually. There's not much going on. So let's make that smaller. Make this smaller. Make this smaller. And then you've got something to watch. Lucky you. Close that, zoom in even further, and let's get it going. So we've got something to listen to as I set up this stream. Okay, it's simple. Does the job. Does the job, right? Just gonna let that play out all the way there. No, we don't need that. It literally just ends there. It's about a 1 minute long song, but yeah, like I say, it's very simple, and because of that simplicism, it's just really easy to cut and mix and sort out. What I'm thinking, to be honest with you, see, we've got a full drum bus on, damn, on the actual fucking group. We've got a full chain. So we've got a drum bus beefer essentially. So it's on here. So let's loop this, and you can hear with and without. So this is just the drums on its own, with the drum bus beefer, without. Kind of gross, but it adds a little flavor, doesn't it? I think we leave everything as is. Let's just, I mean, in terms of frequency dodging, we've already got a trigger here, right? So that means every time that this sound is hit, which by the way is fucking minuscule, very short. I mean, considering the rest of the sound is actually very long. But whenever this little thing happens, then all the other sounds don't make sounds. But it's very simple. Like I said, there's just this synth going on with the drums. And that's it, and that's the drop together. So my understanding is that's just what techno is, man. And hardstyle is, maybe not hardstyle, but techno is just like that sort of shit. Anyway, let's get the fucking pink noise up and running, and get the ball rolling. What I do want to do before I start with that, though, is I want to check. Nice sound, bro. I want to check and make sure that everything is in its own place, yeah, in terms of EQing. So this would have its own certain frequencies peaking out. The snare would have its own frequencies peaking out. The hi-hats would, of course, have its own frequencies peaking out. There's a lot of plugins on all of this, keeping everything nice and neat and tidy, which is quite nice. There is a lot of reverb here. Check this out. Look at that fucking reverb on it. And weirdly enough, the reverb is after the chain. So let's do that instead. Because this sidechain is ducking underneath that kick. And so before and after is slightly cleaner, ish. And let's check this. We do have EQ there. That's good. We do have EQ here as well. That's good. We do have EQ here, whatever that is. Okay, it's that. Yeah, but we've got EQ there. We do have EQ here, but that's that's right. Yeah, EQ there. We do have EQ here, and we do have EQ there. So we've got EQ everywhere, cleaning everything up. We could make things like here, for example, these frequencies. We can see that this is peaking here, here, here. We could choose any of these. We could choose any of these frequencies and allow it to pierce through the mix on this, yeah? That means we choose any of those frequencies and duck it here. So let's go ahead and do that. It's just going to make it a little more cleaner and allow us to push the envelope a little more, push the volume a little more with less distortion, with less overlapping frequencies, and our ears will be able to notice the different sounds much more clearly that way as well. And that's really, the important thing about mixdown. You notice how I've got plus 0.2 decibels here, but then it's 0 here. So it makes me feel like I might have done the mixdown because we've got plus 0.3 here, but then again, we've got 0 and 0 here, but it could be that just the ratio between the kick and the snare is more of a clap is actually perfect. Have a listen to the clappy snare. It's like a flam clap, really, isn't it? Okay, let's get back to this. So we're going to have a listen to this. We can see some peaks here. These are all, there's no gain on any of that. That's non-existent as well. So let's just do this and put this where we can see a peak. We can see a peak there. We can see a peak here. And let's turn that into that. There we go. And we see a peak here, right? These posts are temporary. We will be removing them very soon. It's just I want to make sure that we can visually see where the peaks are so that we can see in this second portion where it slightly changes if there are any overlapping peaks. And this one is overlapping. In fact, all three of these are technically overlapping. This one's overlapping the least, so let's just remove that. So we've got the choice between this and this one. I like how there's a slight crunch there. That's the redux. Have a listen without and with and without the redux. So with and without. With, without, with. Very nice. So let's boost this and see what that sounds like. That's what this frequency is. Very good. And let's boost this. And that's what that frequency is. Okay, so now that our ears are used to both of those frequencies, we'll listen to this early one again. And I know that it's this one that is peaking out the most. But this does exist, but it's not as noticed, right? So we could just fuck with that. And you're looking at 1.19 kilohertz. I'm just going to turn that off. And over here, we're going to go to 1000, and we know the frequencies over here. It says it there, but you can't see it, unfortunately, because the writing's in the way. And now you can see it. There we go. It's over here. 119. So that is... Oh, well, we got it perfect. So there we go. I'm just going to decrease the gain just a smidgen. And what we're going to do is I'm going to play both of them together, and we're going to decrease the gain and see how that affects things. It's all about how clearly we can hear this pad, essentially. Without, with. Let's make it sharper and bring it down. That makes it very clear now. Okay, about that. Remember, when we do it sharp like this, that does mean that the frequencies around the side here are going to be boosted a little more. That's the cost of doing things in the mixdown process. Let's just chuck in a limiter clipper at the end here, just to clean it up, but also keep it boosted. Make sure it's not on here. Yeah, it's just on here. Cool. So we've got the limiter making sure that, I mean, the threshold's at minus 4.9 decibels, which is incredible, actually. Good work. I don't know why that's needed. This is on the in at 5 decibels. We'll probably be lowering that, but let's have a listen and try to get it to a nice level. But nice and quick, and we don't need this limiter to be, we don't need it at all. Without. And with. It's safety. Yeah, let's keep it. And we've got some nice high frequencies, really punching shit right there. Beautiful. I love that so much. We'll deal with that later on in the mastering process about how it is fucking scratching at people's ears, but otherwise I fucking love it, so let it be. Alright, I think it's time that we start thinking about the levels of everything. Now, what we need to remember here is that because there are plugins on the drum bus, as we change the levels of individual units, that's, you know, it's going to be different on the output, right? Because when you put everything together, everything once again gets squished together. It's an interesting one. So we're going to do it individually, and I'm going to assume that these hi-hats are a good ratio to each other, but we're going to do the kick, then snare, then the hi-hats, and that's it. We don't have percussion, we don't have anything else. And then we're going to listen to just the drums all together without the pink noise, so that we can make sure that all the levels are genuinely A-OK. What we could do, actually, is observe this kick and this snare and make sure that these frequencies are not colliding. Now, of course, we know that this kick has got... there is a lot of, stuff going on here. So on the kick, we've got saturation, 16 decibels, which is a fucking insane amount. We've got mono bass, so everything under 193 hertz is mono. And then we've got drum bus. I'm using that mainly just for the transients here. So we've got a little bit of boom as well, around 74 hertz. The main thing normally I use it for is the transient. So that's the punchiness. That's the beginning of the kick. Sounds being more punchy, being more prominent. It's very similar to the enveloper in Logic. So, which also is a good plugin, good stock plugin in my opinion for drums and whatnot. So we are going to EQ. So here I would assume that everything's peaking out because the drum bus, it's got compression. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it keeps at 0%. Okay, 0 decibels. Sorry. All right, that's great. Let's have a listen here. So this contains all of our bass. We don't have any other bass here. So what we don't need is this information under 20 hertz-ish. Now we can see it's peaking around here. That's exactly where we want it to peak, that's fine. We've got some information over here that's worth remembering, yeah? So I'm going to bring this over here. We can see that that's it's around 600 hertz, yeah? Now over here, we know that we've got the kick and the snare happening at the same time, right here. Right? And so if I were to turn off the hi-hats and play just the drums, so we're going to see what that peak is. And so I remember that was 600, so that's over here, and let's see if there is a peak over here on the clap as well. There isn't, it's more over here, so we can actually duck that down just a smidgen, and that's going to allow the kick to pierce through the clap quite nicely. But we want the clap to pierce through the kick as well. So we're going to sharpen that up. And to be honest with you, the main thing here is for the kick to have the punch to pierce through, and that is around 100 hertz, and you can see it's sloped out here anyway, so we don't need to worry too much about that. But what we do want to do is, I mean, it would be nice to have it sidechained, and we could sidechain it. We sidechain it, a little OP, but it's something that it genuinely isn't needed, but it is something that is quite fun to do, and something that I don't do often, but it's something that we can do, and it's worth teaching you, yeah? So let's have a look over here, and we can see that we've got some peaks over here. Let's call it this whole area here. So that's 1K all the way to 1.3K, call it, right? And we're going to take this and we're going to bring that over to here, that exact area. So that's 1K to 1.3K. So we're going to put it smack bang in the middle. We're going to bring it down to just about there, and we're going to do a bit of that, yeah? Maybe even more gentle like that. There we go. But I want this to only happen when the clap is making the sound. So we're going to map this to the gain, and it's going to go at most down a bit, and then it's going to go to 50, right? We're going to leave it on just right now. So the envelope follower, what that's doing is that it's listening to the signal of whatever track it's on, and when this makes a sound, it activates. So right now, when it makes its sound, it goes from 50%, which is right perfectly on the line, down to 23%, which is negative whatever gain, we'll see. That's what's happening, and that's happening every time that the kick is activating. But if I were to drag this onto the snare, then all of a sudden, that means every time the snare hits, that's when it's being brought down. And that's just clearing things up. So let's have a listen with and without. Yeah, it's very subtle, to be honest with you. And we could bring this down even more if we wanted to. And there are plugins that already do this. I think ProQ probably does this, but I don't have it. But this is a decent alternative. Now, what you do, what is worth understanding is that it says there's no rise on right now, but there is. It says there's no delay, but there is. There is a slight attack to this. It is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. But it's a simple solution to a problem where if you don't want that peak completely gone throughout the entire process, because it's happening all the time, this kick. I don't want it always to be gone when it only needs to be gone for a short amount of time. This is a solution to that. And now that clap snare is piercing through the mix so much more, we can really, we should really start the mix down now. So let's get that pink noise going. And we're going to go down here, we're going to turn off the duck. The hats are already off, and I'm going to turn off the snare. And we're going to just work with just this kick. I'm going to open up the master channel right here so we can see the EQ. And we're going to look for, this is what the kick sounds like and looks like. We're going to look at this peak, and we're going to try to keep it sort of slightly bursting through the pink noise. We can always adjust levels later on as well, so don't worry too much if it seems too much. I'm hoping that this isn't going to be too loud, but I don't know, so we're just going to have to test it. Apologies if it is too loud. Good level. So, we can see that this kick is way too loud. We'll bring it down. Now, this level is a bit of a tricky one, like I said before. The reason it's a tricky one is because there is stuff on here. Ideally, we try to find a good ratio of everything first, and then just adjust the drums. I think that might be the play here. So we're going to get all of these on and just try to do it all at the same time. Maybe a bit difficult, but it's definitely possible. So the hi-hats right off the bat is too high. We can see these peaks over here. But I think the ratio of the two hi-hats are good. So all we need to focus on is just bringing this down. So we're looking at over here. Now, what if I were to leave everything at the ratio that it was? We just bring this down until it's in line. That's the play. There we go. That's much better. That's much better. Now the kick is still protruding through everything. You can see that because if I turn the kick off, this mellows out significantly. There we go. You can see the peaking right there. And now we'll look at the snare. That's where it's hitting. We can't see that at all. Let's boost it all the way up. I can slightly hear it, but cannot see it. So maybe we leave it at 6. Fuck it, who cares? And I can hear the hi-hats, but let's boost it all the way up. And that's the peak right there, and we're going to just slowly bring that down. About there is good. Now, generally I don't like looking at it and seeing it peak like that, but it is what it is. So let's turn that pink noise off and let's have a listen to just the drums on its own. And that's okay, you know. Let's slowly adjust that snare. Now, at the end, we can always bring these drums in total back up. And I think we will need to. But the ratio is good. So we're going to keep the drums on now, and let's move on to the next part. And because these all happen one at a time, we can play this one at a time. So let's loop just this area here. It's mono, so that's kind of cool. We can check out the synth. I'm going to turn down your volume because I know that this is going to be fucking blasting. So I'm going to adjust your volume again. There we go. So this is what the frequencies look like. That's what we're fucking with, right? Let's get the noise and everything else back in now. Never mind, I need to make sure everything else is turned off. Otherwise that's going to be too much. Maybe. So we can see some peaks there. That's what it looks like. I say we leave it there. So there is these peaks coming through the mix. That's okay. We can sort that out later on. We could bring it all the way down, but I quite like the idea of it piercing through the mix a little bit. Let's do the same thing over here. So this is what this one sounds like. And then just bring it all the way up, bring it down. About there is okay, and we can always adjust stuff later on, and I am sure that we will. Next up we've got this. We don't want this to be too loud, but maybe we will have it too loud. This is what it sounds like. And this one, we're going to get these peaks to be underneath everything. Let's go. Because that is just a flavor. There we go, just about there. And we're going to do a deeper dive later on, don't worry. And this is what this next synth sounds like. This will probably need to be the same sort of volume as this one, but let's give it a go. So we can see the peaks nice and clearly here, and we bring it down. We could bring it down lower. Now, to be honest with you, normally I would bring those exact peaks all the way down to be in line with the pink noise, but I'm experimenting here. I'm trying something new, and it might be an absolute terrible verdict, but I would like to try something new. I would like to experiment, and for me, that's the most enjoyable part of production or mix down or mastering and everything like that. It's the experimentation, it's trying things new. So let's have a listen to this. So again, this is a flavor, so we want this to be pretty much in line with the mix down, with the pink noise. So we bring that down. About there we go. And let's give it a go. And I'm under the impression that this is going to sound horrendous, to be honest with you, but we'll give it a go. I think that the drums are going to be too quiet. To be entirely honest with you, I think the mix down how we had it originally was pretty decent. Let's just go back and see if we can get that. Backy, 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 backy. Going back, 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 back. I think that was it. I mean, this needs to be brought back, but I think that was just -5 anyway. Yep. Alright. Let's turn off this pink noise. And let's have a listen to the whole thing. If anything is too loud or too quiet, we can adjust it now. Okay, let's bring this down to -10. Let's bring this down to -10. I think the ratios of everything is okay. Okay, look, it was a quick song that I've thrown together. There's only 14 tracks. I think it's okay. I think it genuinely is okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to freeze those to sort of make sure that it is continuously the same each time. And I think it's time that we get started with the mastering. We've done the mix down. We've actually done very little to the mix down. We did a few EQs here and there, but I think in terms of the levels, I think it's okay. And we can always adjust later on. I don't think there's anything on the duck. Yeah, it's just a compressor. Awesome. We'll just freeze these two. Hello? And freeze these two. Lovely. Now, first things first, I'm going to, I can't remember what it's called. I'm going to try to type in trip. Maybe that would be it. It is. Fantastic. We're going to listen to the whole thing and find what is the loudest part of this song. And then I'm going to make a note of it with my mouse. That's it. That is it. That's all we're doing right now. I would assume the loudest part is over here because we've got the most synths going on, but it's worth exploring just in case. So far this is the loudest part. And now this is the loudest part. Now that's the loudest part. That's the loudest part now. Okay, right here, I mean, these two really are the loudest parts, and that's what you would expect because it's got the most layers. Yeah, so that's fine. Let's just do this one because why the fuck not? So we can see very clearly that it's nice and loud. So we're going to go over to audio effects and I'm going to use the lovely mastering rack that I've already got. So we're not going to use quick master, though we could, because like I say, it's a quick throw around job. This song was 14 track song, but we're going to go for perfect master. And I think we could probably go through this relatively quick. So let's close that, and we will start with the holy grail, and that is a compressor. We're looking at 0.3 decibels of gain reduction. That's too much, we've already got a whole decibel, so let's increase that until we get to 0.3 in this gain reduction setting. Yeah, about there. So we're getting minus 0.3 regularly. I was going to say relatively often, but regularly works. And that's perfect because that means everywhere else we're going to be having much less, such as here. That's even more actually. What the fuck? Alright, let's adjust. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I mean, this should be the loudest part. Alright, whatever. So 0.3 gain reduction, fine. I feel like it just got very quiet all of a sudden. Alright, whatever though. Without. With. Major apologies. It was this. I accidentally dragged that down. I see. That's why. Okay. But there we go. Compressor, limiter, done. Let's move on. So this is going to take out the lows, take out the extreme highs, take out the extreme lows, you're looking at 18k hertz and 17k on the top end, and then there is a slight boost here of half a decibel. We'll listen to it with and without that boost and see if we need it. Without. With. Without. Let's keep it with because it brightens it up and makes it a little more lively. Let's bring in the compressor here, the fur comp. We're looking at just 3. We're looking for 3. Let's go. It's too much. Let's bring it up. Too much. I'll bring down your volume so you can hear me a little better. There we go. So this line right there, that's 3. So we're going to bring it up more. Bring it up a little more. It's peaking just a little bit. Bring it up there. That's perfect. There we go. Because the song is already really quite distorted. The synths are distorted. Everything's pushed to its limit. So I don't want to push the mastering too much. But if we have to, we have to. And now let's do the valve start. So I'm going to leave it on 8 times because I know that these synths have a very harsh resonant frequency. So let's listen to it all the way up. And then off. All the way up. And off. You can see it's taming some of these peaks all the way up, off, all the way up. And so we're going to adjust it to where is a good level. Without. With. Okay, it's doing a bit of heavy lifting, but we don't want it too much. And now there is this beautiful, beautiful machine. It's listening to the peaks and then adjusting individual peaks in real time. All the way up. Off. We can hear this one because it sounds a bit hollow. There's certain sounds that are a bit hollow sounding. That's just resonant frequencies happening because of this. So we are going to adjust this and find a nice middle point. Without. With. Without. With. Without. With. I can live with that. I can live with that. All right. Now we've got the K clipper. This shit is going to make it super, super loud. I'm sorry. This is a nice hard clipper. And I'm going to turn the gain up, the in gain, all the way until we reach the absolute fucking limit. So apologies for your loudness. In fact, I'm going to turn down your loudness down to a random level. It's going to start off very quiet. Hopefully it doesn't get too loud. Let's go. So I'm looking to get these lines to just touch the bottom and the top. That there might be fine. So we can see here, we're getting peaks, touching the bottom and the top. Okay, fantastic. Let me adjust your volume again. There we go. So we can close that. We're going to bring on this compressor. Once again, we're looking for minus 0.3 decibels of gain reduction. Let's go. Look at that. Oh, no, that's 5. So we're going to bring that up. That's 0.1, 0.1, 0.1. Pulling that down a smidgen. Oh, there we go, look. 0.3 sometimes. And we can see it nice and clearly here, that at most it is doing 0.3. Sometimes 0.32, sure. I would have hoped that it would be absolutely perfectly the exact same each time because I froze all the tracks, but what we need to remember is that on the drum bus we have all of these plugins and that is going to make it vary. We've also got a sidechain compressor on here, and then within each of these there are also groups with different plugins which would make the results vary from time to time. If we were to bounce each group or anything like that, groups and tracks, then groups and tracks, then it'll be good. Yo, yo, yo. You deal with boots and cats, but I deal with groups and tracks. I deal with some tracks. I'm gonna write that down because that's actually kind of a cool line, to be honest. I'll probably forget it. It's gonna be gone forever. You deal with boots and cats. I deal with groups and tracks. I'm going to throw this paper away and forget about it very soon. All right, let's get the master plan open. I'm going to start off by putting it onto Unity. Let's get motherfucking mono going so that we can hear the levels nice and clearly. You got the EQ to look at if you wanted to. Lucky you. We're going to start off by fucking with the low end. Hey, what up, Moon? By the way, Moon, that's your name. How you doing? Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Just doing the mastering for this. We're going to start off by boosting or reducing the low end. I'm going to put it all the way up so that we can hear what the low end is happening, what's happening with the low end, and then we're going to bring it down. Yeah, that's my name. Very sarcastic, huh? You need a question mark after Moon, because that'd be cool, because it'd be like, by the way, Moon? Yeah? You know? Interesting though. Why is this your name? I'm gonna bring that low down. Try to find a good midpoint. And this EQ is accurately representing what's happening after this plugin, and this EQ is showing us what's happening before this plugin. I don't know. The beat is fire so far. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, to be fair, a lot of the time through this chain, it's decent. It's decent in terms of mastering, but this master plan plugin is the cherry on top. It's actually more than the cherry on the top. It does a lot of the heavy lifting. I think we could have all of these plugins, or we could have Masterplan. I think Masterplan itself does a lot of what all of this stuff does. It's such a powerful plugin. It's the 80% of the 20% rule. This 20% of plugins does 80% of the work here. I also really love Vasthouse, but Vasthouse on its own does not do that much. Vasthouse is way anyway. And this has got Calm anyway. It's pretty much got Vasthouse. Anyway, so we're going to adjust the highs and try to bring that to a reasonable level as well. All the way up, too harsh, of course, and then we bring that down. Nice. What are you, a music producer or engineer? I'm a music producer. Yeah, I'd say I'm a music producer, but I also, I do my own mixdowns and mastering, and I do mixdown and mastering as a service as well. One of my friends wanted to be a sound engineer. Can I hear any sample? Sample of what? Of one of my songs? I mean, this is one of my songs. This is not normally what I make. All right, go on then. You're disrupting my workflow, but I'll do it for you because I care about you. I care about you, Moon. So let's go to something finished that's unreleased because like I say, I care about you. I'll let you choose, buddy. Yeah, you can choose. Would you like to listen to Distraught Wobblefuck? Would you like to listen to Do You Know What I'm Saying? Or would you like to listen to Drive Safe or Bubbles in the Wind? So that's Distraught Wobblefuck, Bubbles in the Wind, Drive Safe, or Do You Know What I'm Saying? I'd recommend you listen to Do You Know What I'm Saying, but any of those options are decent. Fuck one. Okay. This one I finished the mixdown and mastering, I think just yesterday. No, it was 3 days ago. It was the last one. Both. Okay, I'll do both. All right, so this is a nice chill one, despite what it's called. Let's have a listen. Yeah, it looks like it just starts with just this. Oh, I've opened up. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay. Guess with. No, let's do Distraught Wobblefuck. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to do that. I did mean to open up this. Okay. So yeah, we've got the high, we've got the low, and it all originates from this synth. So I'm soloing just this, nothing else is playing. This is what I started with. It might be a bit loud, I don't know. And then I cut that up and created this entire song out of that. Let's have a listen. So that's that's Distraught Wobble Fuck. I don't know if I'll ever release it, but that's something that I completed 2 days ago in terms of mix down and mastering. But I made it many months ago. I'm glad you like it. And welcome, Rupee. Welcome to the stream. Is this DJing? This is not DJing. This is music production. Right now, I'm doing mix down and mastering. Though right this very second, I'm showing some previous songs. And this song is something that I really, really, really like. This song I'm definitely releasing. I just need to. I want to have a couple of tracks that I think are on the same tier as this. So this song is called Do You Know What I'm Saying? Because it sounds like there's vocals in the song, but there isn't. So right now you can see I'm soloing just one track. Nothing else is playing. And this is what this one track sounds like. So you can see how and hear how this one track sounds a bit crazy. It sounds like there's a lot going on. It sounds like it's multiple synths playing at the same time, even vocals, right? There isn't. It's just this one synth playing just these 3 notes. I did a lot. There's a lot going on this one synth, and I did a lot in here with a lot of dials, a lot of macros, a lot of variation. And through this one synth, once again, I chopped it up, and that's where the drop came from. And then I did the same thing for the second drop with a different synth, which is heavily inspired by the initial synth, which sounds like this. But we'll get to that. All right, let's have a listen. This is looking like a NASA for me. Damn, do you produce, Moon? Also, NASA would make sense because you are Moon and all, aren't you? So, do you produce? Because if you produce, then I think maybe it would be maybe not so NASA. But then again, it depends. If you do drum and bass, or if you do dubstep, or like genres around that sort of EDM, this won't be NASA to you. This is very standard stuff. But if you produce pretty much anything else, this is a completely different area. This is sound design, and sound design is very important in dubstep and drum and bass. If you do hip-hop music, this means nothing to you. This is a different area entirely. If you do house music, this is a different area. House music, they're just using that FM dong, boom, grow up. Oh yeah, bass house as well. You'd fuck with this shit. Anyway, let's have a listen and have some fun with it. So yeah, that's the kind of music that I produce. Let's get back to it. I'm glad you liked it, bro. I quite like it as well. Yeah, I'm very proud of those. Very proud of that. Okay, where is the loudest? There it is here. Okay. Your English is kind of shit. Oh, cool. What's your native language? Do I sing? Not really. A little bit. I'll sometimes add vocals to my songs, and I have been going to singing lessons so that I'm more comfortable adding vocals to my song. Do you want to hear a no? I was going to say, do you want to hear a song with vocals? I've got a few songs with vocals, but it's okay. But I mean, mainly it's dubstep, and the vocals are sing it. No, no. Without autotune. I mean, no. I think I would add like slight autotune. I don't have enough so that it's hearable, but it is enough to smooth out the sound a little bit, because I'm not a good singer. I'm not a good singer. So I'm going to turn this loud knob all the way up and then dial it down. If I turn it all the way up, we'll be able to very clearly hear the distortion. Have a listen. Very distorted. And then I just dial it down to where the distortion is bearable. I think about there is actually okay. So this is with and without. So this is with. And without. With. A little bit of distortion is not bad, especially with this kind of track, I think. All right, cool. So now we're going to add some thickening, which is just saturation. You might not be able to hear this too much if you're not a producer. Moon, do you produce music? Also, what is your native language? What country are you from? I guess my headset is trash. No, I do not. Gotcha. Why is your headset trash? So that's what this thickening does. It does distortion, and it's mainly around the low mids, the muddy area. They're like $15 ones. Yeah, buddy. Guess where I am from? Oh, I couldn't guess. Is it what? I'm gonna guess somewhere in Asia. I'm gonna go for an absolute random guess. Are you from the Philippines? And it's like a wireless one. Interesting. I think we are the same. Probably not Philippines then. No, too far. Are you Europe or no? South American? No, it's Asia. Okay. India. Statistically speaking, you're probably from China or India. Okay, cool. All right, cool. To be honest with you, it's more of an ear thing rather than a hearing thing. Because if you train your ears in this area, you will be able to hear these differences. And I train my ears to be able to hear these sort of differences. And to prove it, these are a 15, I know, it's nice. These are a £15 pair of headphones. I'm going to use these, and I'm not going to do the rest of the mastering with these headphones because I prefer these ones. These ones, by the way, are only £30. I think 30 to £40. They're really quite cheap. But my ears are so used to what these sound like that I prefer to use these for the mixdown. I've got headphones that are £200, £300. I don't use them for mixdown and mastering because my ears are more used to this. So you are saying my ears are shit? I'm saying your ears are not trained. That's simply it. Your ears are not trained. Not shit, just not trained. In this area, you understand? Like if I don't do, I don't do curls, right? Does that mean my arms are shit? Fuck no. I know how to punch because I do Muay Thai, but I can't do curls because I'm not trained in that area, right? I need new ears, new pairs. You don't need new ears, you need to fucking train, bro. It's not your ears, it's you. Your choice to not train your ears. But you don't need to train your ears. You're not a producer. There is no benefit for you training your ears. Anyway, I'm going to prove it by using these headphones. These trash as fuck headphones. Absolutely disgusting pairs of headphones, this. I need to make sure that this is coming out of these disgusting pairs of headphones. Yeah, they are. Cool. Horrendous. Why are they orange? You know what? I think I use them for DJing, right? Just because of the color. And if they break when I'm out and about, it doesn't really matter. Because like I say, they're £15 headphones. They're bright orange. And I think it looks cool as well when you're DJing. And you've got these around your neck. And sometimes I'll use them to actually DJ. But a lot of the time I DJ just out in the open without headphones. But sometimes I need headphones to DJ if there's a certain song. So this is with thick and without. Yeah, I can hear that. So without, with, like I say, you're trying to listen for the low mids. If we're seeing on here, it's around here that this saturation is really fucking with, to be honest. When it's dark and you can't find your headset, you get this headset so you can glow like, yeah, genuinely glow like a glow stick. That's it. That's it, bro. That's the plan. Okay, so with and without master plan. So without master plan and with. Bro, it is so difficult to hear the difference with these headphones. I'm going to be honest with you. Low mids are low mid frequencies. So let's pretend here is the mids, from like here to here, from around here. These are the mids. The low mids are around here. Yeah. So this is the lows. This is sub lows, low mids, mids, high mids, highs. Tell me the basic that sound. Yeah. So that's it. That's EQ. So highs, high mids, mids, low mids, lows. That's it. That's what I'd say. And even here, look, you can see what everything does because it describes it here at the bottom. If I hover my mouse here, it says remove a buildup of sound in the low mids muddiness. So the low mids are also called muddiness. I'm gonna stop using these headphones because I want to get a good mastering. But yeah, I mean, I think that does raise a good point, and it's made me realize it's not just about the headphone, not just about your ears, but also the headphones that you're using. You need to be used to the headphones that you're using. Like I say, these headphones are fucking old. I mean, fucking cheap. They're under 50 quid for sure. I would say 30 to 40 quid. but I've been using them for years, and I've bought better headphones, and I've chosen not to use them because I'm so used to these ones. You want trained ears on the same headphones or speakers, right? I've had these speakers for fucking years as well. These headphones I've had for a very long time. You did tell me, yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, yeah. I have to absolutely backtrack. You're absolutely right. It's not just the ears, but it's also the headphones. 50 is cheap for you, too rich. 50 is cheap for musicians and sound engineers and people that are investing into gear to get a better sound. You, at the end of the day, the higher end gear is going to give you a better sound, but I don't even use, I use the cheap ones for production. I could use any headphone, genuinely, but you just need to train your ears with them. It's not a good idea to just keep. You can use expensive headphones, but I would recommend, if you're going to use expensive headphones, that you spend a long time listening to lots of different songs with those headphones, so that your ears get very used to what sound should sound like, what songs should sound like. And I use these headphones religiously for that reason. Now, I am blind, can't hear. You mean deaf? I think you're joking. I think you're joking. I mean, you've been doing a lot of laughing emojis. Are they emojis or stickers? What are they called on Twitch? Anyway, I'm going to fuck with a clean now. So this removes the buildup of low mids, the muddiness. This is it all the way up, and this is it all the way off. And then we're going to find a good midpoint. I can hear that difference now. What is that thick button? Thick is saturation. That's almost, it's pretty much distortion. But you can see I've got it on 9.83, so it's very, very subtle. You're not going to be able to hear what it does there. But I can open up a saturator, which is literally saturation just on its own, and you will be able to hear exactly what saturation does. Okay, so I'm going to turn up the drive and you will hear what saturation does to the whole thing. It's going to get loud, I'm sorry. So that's what saturation does. It saturates the sound, and it pretty much turns waves into a square wave the more drive you give it. That is to say, completely saturated. There is not much, there's low volume peaks in the wave. Everything is brought to its absolute max. So things that were once quiet become fucking loud. Mate, I just got one pair of headphones, don't break it. Gotcha. I will spare you from now on. So this is smooth, it's gentle compression that smooths the overall sound. It's very subtle. It's like Photoshop. Photoshop is a very powerful tool. I would say this entire DAW, digital audio workstation, so this whole thing is like Photoshop. Or some people say auto-tune is like Photoshop, right? As if it's a quick fix, but there is skill behind it. I am a photographer. Gotcha, so you know that Photoshop isn't just a one-trick fix. Photoshop is a whole process of full image editing, and it has a lot to it. It's not just press a button and then the image is better. And it's the same thing with this, whereas saturation, you just turn the dial, you know. This whole DAW, this whole project it would be the Photoshop equivalent, I would say. It says very gentle compression, but it's not that gentle. I think I like it without it. It's much more aggressive without this smoothness. Now let's fuck with the calm. So the calm, it reduces the harshness of the sound. So this is it all the way up. And all the way off. Can barely hear it, to be honest. You got an update? Update on what? Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do it one day. About there, and then tape is tape saturation. What this does is, if you listen to the low frequencies, the sub, it gives it either warm or tightness, and it's a dial between how warm or tight you want this to be. Calm is the therapist for sound. It is, absolutely. So over here we've got a tight bass. That's where the bass would feel like more like a very structurally sound. It would feel almost mechanical, and then on the other side it feels more warm. It feels more human. Yeah, that's how I would describe it. Even this is tight. Listen to the sub, and then warm. I think for this song we want it a bit more warm, but let's find a nice middle ground. I don't want to go too warm because I feel like it's taking away the punch of the kick, because that's the only area that's got the sub bass. So now I'm going to remove it from mono. So now you're going to, because you're wearing headphones, lucky you, you're going to feel it and hear it be very wide, which is awesome. Very awesome. Because that's what it actually is. It's really quite a wide song. And then I'm going to increase the wideness, and then I'm going to bring it down to where we want it to be. So have a listen to the wideness already. All around the stereo headspace. And now, finally, I'm going to take off Unity. So what Unity has done is, as we turned up the loudness, it was bringing down the overall volume on the output so that it wouldn't feel too loud for us whilst we were working through this. But if we turn this off, the actual loudness is going to be very, very clear now. I mean, I am wearing it on one ear, can't wear on two sides, so it's going to be monophonic. Damn, right, yeah, then yeah. Then that is absolutely true. That listening, I would assume, is there a bunch of external sounds there then? Why are you wearing it on one ear? All right, this is going to be day and night. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off all of these plugins that we've used for the mastering, and let's see if you can hear anything. I'm in Office. Bro's working and watching a stream at the same time. That is nuts. All right, so we're going to start off with nothing playing. There's no plugins on right now. And now a limiter. Very subtle, not easy to hear. And now EQ. Subtle as well, not easy to hear. Compression, a little more easy to hear. Vasthouse, a little more noticeable, significantly more noticeable, I'd say. Hornet, also quite subtle, to be honest. K-clip, very loud. Limiter again, subtle. And then this master plan is going to be very, very obvious. Alright, would you like to listen to the song in total? Let's go. I've done a dubstep version of this as well, but I'm probably going to do the mixdown and mastering for that tomorrow. Don't want my boss to walk in me and watch me watching you. Why 256? Why not 360? What is 256? What is 256? What's 256? I don't know. What's 256? Oh, this. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, that's why. 128, 256. Yeah, it's just double 128. 128 being double 64, double 32, double 16, double 8, double 4, double 2, double 1. I think it's computer shit, innit? Alright. So, this is without the mastering chain, and with. Should we hear the whole song in total? You might enjoy it, you might not. And we'll leave this here so you've got something fun to watch as we go through these synths and whatnot. Okay, let's go. There you go. We're good. It's over. Collect all and save. So the next thing that I'm going to be working on, power cutoff. Rip. Bro, didn't get to listen to you've been listening to the same little loop over and over again. This fucking, and that's it. That's all you've been able to get. Do you want me to play it for you again, or do you want to listen to the next song? It's entirely your choice. I heard boom and light con. Damn. That is sad. Yeah, it's entirely up to you. Would you like to listen to the whole thing? I'll play it again for you. Or would you like to listen to a different song? I'm about to go. I heard it all the way through there. Okay, cool. So, after I made this song, I was inspired to make it a dubstep version because I'm a dubstep guy. And so this is the dubstep version. Now, you need to know that there is no mixdown or mastering on this, so it will sound terrible. All right, let's get into it. Very quiet. All right. So yeah, that's the dubstep version. Ooh, I really like the second drop. I'm not a huge fan of the first drop, to be honest. But this second drop is fucking sick. My wife hates that second drop because it's so screechy, but I absolutely adore it. I adore it. So enjoyable to my ears. Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna go now, but before I go, would you like to listen to one more song? You can choose any one of these. The ones at the bottom are more old, the ones at the top are more recent. But I mean, some are really shit because these are all just stuff that needs to be done. I still need to do the mixdown and mastering for them. You can choose any name you want. My headphone has bass too. I just got to know that. Cool. I'm happy for you, bro. That's good. Yeah, because that beep 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 is just sub bass and highest frequencies. Awesome. All right, so your choice is butterflies, melodramatic seal, oppering bop, pink frosted donuts, dead or alive. So butterflies, melodramatic seal, boppering bop, pink frosted donuts, dead or alive. Follow me on Instagram at limlamofficial, sauerkraut, Marty's song, Say Me Again Now, words in the song, percolator. Maybe for Bert. Boppering bop. Okay, good choice actually. So this is a song that I made on stream, and the person in the chat kept saying that everything was a bop, so that's why it was boppering bop. And then his name is Sai, and so I was like, I'm going to put your name in it because he helped me create this a lot of the time because I was constantly asking, okay, what shall I do next? What shall I do? What 1, 2, or 3? Gave him lots of options, and then but hopefully, Moon, if you're in any of my other streams when we do music production, that would be cool to do that. I can't do that for mixdown and mastering because it needs to kind of be perfect. But with production, it doesn't need to be perfect. I can make almost fucking anything. It doesn't matter. We mix it up and explore and experiment, because I think that's the enjoyable thing. So first off, we started with just this synth. I'm soloing it. There's nothing else playing. I don't know what this synth is going to sound like. All right, cool. So we worked together on that synth, and then and then this is what we've come up with. Again, I've no clue if this is going to be good or bad, because it's been a while, but I would assume it's not going to be the cleanest, because there's no mix down or mastering anyway. Have a listen. I can't imagine it's going to be anybody's favorite song, but it was a pleasure to make, and I quite like the vibe. Creepy, psychedelic vibe. Sick. I am not a music person, but I kind of like this. It's really awesome. I just put my headphones on both ears. All right, cool. I'm glad, bro. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Cool. Yeah, well, that's dubstep, baby. You like dubstep. You're not a music person, but you like dubstep. That's it. You're a dubstep person. Welcome to the dubstep train. I also love dubstep. I'm trying to get 500 hours of streaming this year. I'm not even halfway, and the year is more than halfway. I'm starting to think that it's not going to fucking happen. I was supposed to aim for 1 hour and 20 minutes per day. There was many days where I did not stream. So difficult. I don't know how the fuck to do that. Do 100 hours per day. Oh shit, yeah. I would only have to do 2 days of doing 100 hours in a day. It's not a bad idea. You're joking. You seem to be joking, but I'm not. Okay, no, I can do that. All right, that's a good point. I'm glad that you brought that up, Moon, because all I've got to do is fuck with space-time, right? If time is slower at greater gravity, all I've got to do is, well, time travel, yeah, but all I've got to do is go closer to a stronger gravitational field. I go below sea level, we're getting there. If I go to the center of the Earth, the gravity is decent there. It would crush me for sure, but I want greater. Travel to the moon, it's slow the time. That is the absolute wrong way to think about it, Moon. If I go to the moon, the gravity is even less. Time goes faster there. It's negligible, we're not going to notice it, but it's, come on now, Moon, you know better than this. You are the moon. By the way, I go to the center of the sun. That's where the gravity is the strongest in our solar system, I'm fairly certain. And time would be very slow there. Very slow. Perceived time would be very, very slow because of crazy high gravity. Yeah, crazy strong gravity. I'm under the water. All of this means nothing to me. What are you talking about? How does water change time? Buddy, what are you talking about? I'm reading, let me get the book. I'll show you why I care so much about this. Be right back, 2 minutes. Buddy, I just got a book. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. There's no point in me sitting around. Though I could fuck around with some production right now. Because I'm waiting for Tem to wake up anyway. Yeah, go on then. Let's fuck around with some production. Oh, there we go. Alright, jump right into this. Okay. Let's go with digital, whatever. Add fourths. Oh, cool. Turn down your volume a smidgen. Get the keyboard going. Alright, that's cool. And as we go up. Okay. Okay, I want to have a listen to that. And decrease the octave. Nice. Okay, we could probably put some bend on that as well. And let me turn down the random so that we got consistency. Okay, a little bit of grit, not too much. Let's try bends minus. That's the same level of grit in my opinion. Make sure it's mono. Turn legato on, go on then, why not? Without? Yeah, let's just have it without. Though we could FM from B, and on B get just a, of course, simple sine wave. We're going to turn the level all the way down, reduce the randomness, and fuck with the FM and see what happens. Lower the octave. Lower it. About there is nice, but I want this to be more prominent, so lower it. Okay, that's cool. Let's put this onto level and see what happens. Nope. Remove that from level. Bring that over there, bring that over there. And bring that up. Yo, I'm back. Oh yeah, I wanted to tell you. I've been reading this book. Stephen Hawking, Brief Answers to the Big Questions. And you know, he's the fucking guy for black holes. And so in terms of gravity and time and how gravity just bends time, I've just been reading that, and I've been finding that very interesting. You were talking about a book? You was talking about a book? Yes, yeah, that's the book. He was, not he is. I mean, he's dead, but he still is the guy for black holes, just like for converting for calculating energy, the relationship of energy to matter. Einstein is the guy for that. He's dead, but he's still the guy for that. And just like who's the guy that did oh yeah, Beethoven is the guy for that. He was the guy, but he is still the guy. He is the guy. You know what I mean? I do astrophotography. Oh, sick. You take photos of the sky, huh? Cool. Is that why you're by the way moon? Yeah, cool. Cool. Jeez. Camera zoom must be fucking nuts. Holy shit. How do you do the white balance when you're pointing up at a sky with very little white? Do you do the white balance based off of the darkness of the sky? Does that work? Help me understand that, please. I am a beginner at it though, like amateur. Gotcha. Cool though, it's a really cool, it's a cool thing. Slow that down. Let's get some more variations. So what if we brought that down to 2 bars, brought that up, brought that down, brought that up, brought that down, brought that up, brought that down, brought that up, and 1 bar. Bring this up. Alright, cool. You got Discord? I do, but I don't use it. I don't have equipment for it. I just do it with tripod and manual work. You got a camera, right? Or do you use your phone camera? I mean, taking photos of space is much easier than you think, but you just need to know what you are doing and where you're pointing at. Yeah, I would assume you've got to have a decent understanding of space and constellations, more specifically, right? so that you know when things can. Where can I show you? Instagram. Put your Instagram in the chat. I'll check it out right now on stream. Okay. I want. Wait. Wait. Okay. So we're going to go like this. It's a bit long to do, but it's I guess it's worth it. It might not be. Stop being so fucking like that. Okay. Okay, we're gonna go like that. We're gonna go like that. Go like that. Go like that. And just fucking whatever the fuck this is. Up and down, 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 up and down. And that's going to be on fine. Yes. And then envelope. Cool. And then we reduce it. So this is vibrato. I got into it more. I learned the shit that I don't even remember. Good, bro. That's it. Yeah, obsess over it. You become the best. Cool. And then no, because we want that to we want it to end in the middle, and that's okay. We can do that. Up there is the middle. Cool, and we're going to do the same thing with pan, but not too heavy. Cool. And that's going to be envelope. It's going to be re-trigger, but the loop point's going to be here. Set loop back point here, see what happens. Nope, that didn't work, did it? Set loop back point here, we're going to try it again. Set loop back point here, we're going to try it again. Set loop back points here. I don't know why you're not letting me do that. No, that's not what we want. Remove select, remove loop back point. We want this to be the loop back point. Cool. And we'll have variation like that. And that's going to be envelope, and that's going to be one bar just like that, just like this. So that's going to vary up there. We're going to start in the middle, or as close to the middle as I can fucking get. And that's going to, oh, that's a good point. I could just do that to ensure the middle. There we go. Ensure the middle there as well. That's going to go down to the maximum as well, and that should. And if I delete that, have a little bit. And slight variation there as well. Can't seem to send you text on Insta, like the media file. I don't see the icon for it. Gotcha. I was thinking, like, where do you have your pictures? Like, I thought it was going to be on Instagram, like, as post. You have a website. Insta. Yeah, so just post the link for your Instagram there. We'll check it on the stream anyway. That's cool. Let's get a little extra flavor on this hyperdimension. Nice. There is a frequency that I don't like, so I'm going to find it and eradicate it. There it is. Cool. And then we are going to give distortion a try. I don't want to fuck it up. And that does fuck it up. Let's do soft clip. Nope, can't do that. Okay, link sent. Alright, cool. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Ankush Moon. Where the space at? Oh. That's all I can see, I'm afraid. Okay. These are your headphones? These are your headphones over here? They're Razer headphones, no? Razer gaming headphones. Cute dog as well. And I like how it's just pink coloured coming through. Oh, the flowers are really pretty, I like that. This is a cool photo too. This is awesome. Symmetrical and shit. Is this perfectly straight up? Surely it is. Those are my gaming headphones. I've got another one. Gotcha. Boom, 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 scum, boom, 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 scum, boom, 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 scum, boom, 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 scum, boom, 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 boom. There you go. Bypass. Leave that. Maybe we could try a compressor on there. Hey, take my photo off your screen. I'm waiting for the image. Okay, got them. Cool, pretty. It's a shame because it's from, like, you send it over Instagram, which already compresses the image, and I'm going to show it from my phone onto a camera outwards, which just makes it look worse. But it is really pretty. Little moon at the top there, very nice. Oh wow, look at that. What camera do you have, bro? The zoom is incredible. Holy shit, look at the moon on that fucker. I mean, you can't even see it with this camera, but I mean, yeah, geez, beautiful. Beautiful. Geez, these clusters of clouds and gases. Galaxy, you got a whole fucking galaxy there, bro. Nuts. They are a bit shit for that. But yeah, that's all I can do, bro. This is awesome. That's awesome. That was called Nebula. Gotcha. The clouds of the groups of dust and cloud, that's called nebula. Or the galaxy is called nebula. Reverb. We need reverb. That's good, and we're going to have it duck slightly underneath the volume. Let's try. Let's try that out. We'll just fucking do a nice long line of E3, apparently. Got to try to find a nice kick. Shouldn't be too hard because I have an idea of what kick I want. I want that lo-fi kick. Nope. No. Damn. The clouds. I'm planning to get the star tracker. It will make it wavy, definitely, but it's really expensive. Switch the screen. I can't see it. Oh, my apologies. Thank you for letting me know. There we go. That one's actually a decent kick. Weirdly enough. What's the star tracker? I mean, I can guess that it tracks stars, but let me turn down the volume. Apologies. Okay, I've got an idea. We're going to have that there, and that's going to be a bit. Nope. Quicker. Cool. And we'll have another one there, but this one's going to be -5 decibels because it's a little quieter. That's what I want. Ah, thanks for the follow. Welcome, Sack. Bro's name is Sack. Mad. All shapes and sizes, eh? Are you a bot, Sack? You give me bot vibes. No one follows before speaking in the chat unless you're a bot. Little bot bitch. Look at you. Fucking bot. Thank you. No, I'm not a bot. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Are you gonna try to sell me a service? Are you gonna try to sell me your designs for Discord? Hey bro, check out my designs for Discord. Sorry, can I message you on Discord? What's your Discord? I've got some designs I want to show you. I think you'd really like them. Is that what you're gonna tell me? Correct me if I'm wrong. Or are you just here to chill? If you're here to chill, that's sick. You're gonna be gone in it. You realized. I've seen right through you. No. I mean, yeah. They do track stars, but their main purpose is to orbit other ways the Earth orbit. They do track stars, but their main purpose is to orbit the other way as the Earth's orbit. Gotcha. So does that mean that you see it twice a day? Well, I guess it depends on the speed. I was just assuming that it was going the same speed as as Earth, sorry. I get them too on my stream. Yeah. Terrible. Terrible. Constantly happening. I need some hi-hats. I want something really high. Okay, we could try that one. Oh, I didn't mean to put that on the same as that. That actually works. Perhaps too simple. I need to make the drums more exciting. The reason being, the synth is very simple. That needs to be quieter, and I want a splitting between the left and right. This sounds trash. Let's make this louder, more powerful. And then, yeah, I'll freeze it. I sent you my setup on Insta. DIY Astro Kit. Cool. No, it's good. It's like it's saying, do I? Maybe it is. It does sound like it's speaking. Damn, cool setup. The setup. So cool. It's a really cool passion to have. I think it's awesome having a passion. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm literally just going to take that audio, the whole thing, and bring it down here. So I've just got control over it over here. I'm going to cut that. I'm going to make it like that. This is now the synth. So duplicate, blah, blah, blah. What? And we need some variation in pitch. Photography is my profession, not just hobby. Yeah, it's fucking awesome. Yeah, it's fucking awesome. And it's your passion, right? I think it's awesome. So there's many people that don't have a passion. They do their job and there's nothing that they look forward to at their job or when they get back. You know, that sucks. We need this to be up. I'm going to grab all of these and turn them all into complex so that I can warp the pitch a lot easier. And this is going to go up 3 because that's a simple one. And this is going to go down 2. Let's do some cuts here. Let's just make it really fucking clean. Disgustingly clean. I want to make people fucking throw up because of how ridiculously clean this song is. And this is going to be 3 as well. And then this might as well be 3. And this might as well be -2. See what happens. Alright, see you in a bit, bro. Nope. Okay, let's duplicate. Hang on, I don't have a snare hit there. Terrible. There we go. Yeah, we'll just duplicate all of that. Bang. These kicks are too fucking heavy. -3. There's too much tail on it, that's what the problem is. I think that's a cleaner version. Yep. Exactly what we needed. And therefore, this kick would be like that, and therefore would be like that. And then we've got it much more clean. Copy, paste, 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 duplicate, paste, paste, duplicate, paste. That should be. Fuck it. Yeah, I like those. Remove that, and we're going to get modulator LFO. We're going to put that onto square. We're going to change that onto 1 beat. Hang on, let me think. Yep, 1 beat. Map that onto that. And so -33, so that's 50, and that's 51. Cool, and that's going to be 49. That's it, that's all I need. And some reverb on that. And bring the LFO over here so it's all tied together. Cool, there we go, that's what I want. And I literally just take all of this and duplicate. Why is that so fucking distorted? Very cool. And then we're gonna have as that. There we go. That's -2. Try that out. Yeah, alright, cool. And we're going to join those together and try to reduce the harshness. Chinese beat. Why do you think it's Chinese? And let's cut that short so it literally stops perfectly on the beat. I'll be right back again. Okay, I'll really go. This was fun. I don't think I need to keep this. But it's always worth exploring this sort of thing. I don't know why you think it sounds Chinese. Alright, don't save. It's gone forever. Delete. There we go. Forever gone. Alright, thanks for coming down. I'm gonna go. Time stopped. 2 hours.